Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for tuning back in to another episode of the Engine Room Podcast brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. We're here to talk about the news today. We're doing a bit of a crypto roundup. Every single news item we're talking about this week, it might not be too big a surprise. We're talking about NFTs today. The first big NFT news item worth talking about today is that blockchain.com is introducing an NFT marketplace. This is clearly a reaction to the explosion in NFT interest over the past year. By way of putting some numbers to this, interest in NFTs has just exploded this year, with volume surging 700% to $10.7 billion in the third quarter of 2021. Everybody from sports teams, musicians, visual artists, and even federal prisoners are looking at NFTs as a new way to raise money for some purpose or cause. Bill, Jacob, what do we think about blockchain.com basically throwing their hat in the NFT ring?
Well, somebody's got to make this easy for Joe Public to get involved, right? As is always the case in crypto, the tech-savvy people are the ones who make the most money in the first wave. Then I think the money in the second wave is going to be essentially mass adoption, right? In other words, wouldn't it be great if you could sit under a holiday tree, push a couple buttons, and have an NFT versus worrying about gas, etc.
Yeah, and I think that's similar to Coinbase creating their own NFT marketplace. That's like Bill, you said, it's getting the everyday person into NFTs. At first, Coinbase and a bunch of other centralized platforms are trying to get the everyday person into crypto. And the next step is to get them into NFTs. So I think once there's mass adoption of crypto and NFTs, then we'll see a boom, and it's going to happen by these major companies creating NFT marketplaces, creating tools to make NFT adoption easier.
Yeah, well, blockchain.com is uniquely positioned to succeed when we're talking about mass adoption of NFTs. So they have 70 million different wallet addresses spread across 200 countries. So if all of those wallets suddenly have NFT functionality, the ability to send and receive an NFT as easily as you would any other cryptocurrency, then it seems just a matter of time before that's a much more normal thing to be talking about buying NFTs. Speaking of buying NFTs, our very own Jacob has bought his first NFT. Jacob, would you be so kind as to share us your story of what pushed you over the edge? You've been paying attention to NFTs for a long time, writing research about them and so on. What made you throw your personal money into one?
Yeah, for sure. So, like you said, I've been tracking NFTs. I've been researching NFTs for months now. But I didn't own any, and I thought, well, I kind of need to own one if I'm going to be talking about NFTs. If I do all this research, I should have something to back it up. And I was sitting in finance class, half paying attention to my lecture, half browsing Nansen to see smart money wallets, and I saw there was like 5 different projects where a bunch of smart money wallet addresses were purchasing, and one of them was called Humans of the Metaverse, and that caught my eye, and I looked at it. I really liked the art. The team was public, and they seemed to be reputable, and I really liked the utility behind the NFT. So the goal right now, you get a human, that's your NFT, and then based off the proceeds from the NFT sale, they're going to create a metaverse where each human is going to have a different job, and certain jobs will give you their tokens, their HOTM tokens, and then those tokens will be used in the metaverse to buy different properties, to buy land. So I really liked the utility. And then I was on OpenSea and I was watching it go from it minted at 0.065 ETH, and the floor price when I looked at it yesterday was 0.075. And then as I kept refreshing, it was going up and up and up. I was like, I really need to buy this. So I threw my hat in. I bought one for 0.085 ETH plus gas fees. And then I was like telling my friends yesterday, I was like, I just bought an NFT for $500. And they're like, you bought an image for $500? I'm like, yeah. I did.
In finance class.
This is what
in finance class.
That's a great detail. Yeah, this is what adoption looks like. It's shopping for pictures on your smartphone during class. Speaking of shopping for NFTs, I know, Bill, why don't you talk to us about the Matrix NFT and basically so many people trying to buy this new NFT that the site broke? Is that right?
That's right. So let's just say I got a phone call from somebody in my generation, and they were like, dude, Matrix NFTs, the NFTs for the new Matrix movies are coming out, and they're only $50. I'm like, oh my God, I have to get one. Well, that was me and a lot of other Matrix fans, apparently, because Variety is reporting that the Matrix NFT site broke, right? And I think this is interesting for a couple reasons. One, if you have big believers and a huge fan base for a movie, okay, that can be monetized even years after the movie was popular with NFTs. Second of all, obviously the low price, okay, brought in massive numbers of people. So it's not just profile pics, it's collectibles. And honestly, Novogratz had it right? Like NFTs are becoming, it's like cultural expression, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we should clarify for some of the younger generation out there that doesn't remember the beloved Matrix movies. I guess the first one came out in the late 90s. And of course, there were 2 more since then. Now they're making a 4th. I would buy a Matrix NFT. Is it too late, Bill? Is the site still busted?
I didn't get the rolling update. I saw the headline that the person who wanted to get the NFTs sent me in Telegram. Let's put it this way. Even if you can get one, I'm sure they're not going to be $50 for long. Right.
Yeah. Well put. Well put.
Based on that demand. Right. So it almost feels like a publicity stunt that they put them out there cheap, looking for overwhelming demand to wind up in Variety as a way to promote the movie. Maybe to younger people who, don't remember or have never seen how cool the movie was.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool movie.
It seems
Go ahead.
like,
sorry, Jacob.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It seems like NFTs are going to be used as a publicity stunt for pretty much everything. Because, like you're saying, it's using for the next Matrix movie. I remember also for the most recent James Bond movie, there was NFTs. There's talks about Spider-Man NFTs. So it's really, NFTs are unfortunately going to be used just kind of as publicity, as advertising. Hey, we're making this movie. Hey, we're dropping these shoes or this food or something. It's going to be used pretty much as a way to replace billboards, to replace commercials. It's NFTs. And not only is it advertising, but they also make money from it. So the reason why I say unfortunately is because I don't like, I mean, yes, it's collectibles. I do think like Matrix NFTs are cool, but at the same time, there's no utility. I think when you're looking at NFTs, you really want utility. If it's not spectacular art, then you need something, a driving point to buy it, other than, oh, it's related to the Matrix or James Bond or Spider-Man.
Yeah, man. Last note on NFTs. We talked earlier in the week about Ross Ulbricht selling NFTs to raise money to help basically get him out of prison. By way of update there, current bidding on that NFT set stands above 250 ETH, which is north of $1 million. Wow. That money may or may not actually be successful in freeing Ross, but what it is being successful at is certainly raising attention on the plight that this young, promising, brilliant person who broke the law finds himself in. It's got some data from the U.S. government that the average sentence for a drug trafficker is 77 months, and Ross is serving 2 life sentences plus 40 years for kicks. Yep. So I think let's go out on a little bit of a bummer note and just say free Ross. And NFTs are here to stay, guys. They're finding utility. Certainly seem to be sinking their teeth in this week, and there's nowhere to go but up from here. From me, Bill, and Jacob, want to thank you all for listening. Especially want to thank you, David. Thank you for listening. and we'll see you next week. Stay tuned.